Hey, ladies. One time I told a dude that when I get married, I want someone who is going to provide for me and pay all of these bills. Duh. He said something to the effect of, you don't want a man, you want a dad. You must not have a dad ever, blah, 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 blah. No, sir. I do have a dad. That's why I want that. My dad spoiled me to death and still does to this day. If I call that man right now and tell him I need some money, it's going to be my cash out within the next 10 minutes. So you think
That's
I'm
your
going to go
husband.
from that to being in a relationship with a man who don't do nothing for me? Does that make sense to you? Like, just make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's what a man is supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, if that's not how you feel, that's completely okay. There are plenty of women out here on the earth who do not believe that a man's job in a relationship is to protect and provide. Go find one of them and do whatever it is that dummies do when they get together. But if you want to be over here, it's going to cost you something, sir.
And I'll say this: standards are for simps. Standards are for the men that they don't like.
Yep.
Okay.
Some men will say, "I don't care if she don't like me." That's fine. Open your wallet up then.
Well,
Yep.
this is. Go ahead, Miss Walker. I'm sorry.
And now I'm just gonna say her dad, her husband, any woman that's gonna sit there and say to your face, a man face, what you gonna do? My daddy gonna send it to me. Like that's wicked. Like I
But
seriously.
this, Mr. Walker and Gavin, this is the only thing I'm saying. But see, this is why I get so frustrated when y'all don't check these pick me's when they come up here on the weeks that I'm off. Okay. They want to brag. Oh, because I'm like Crystal. I had a mom and a dad. I don't know about her. Babe, my mom and dad planned me, and I took a year to come. I'm not a bastard child.
All right, Crystal,
So
let it go. Let it go.
listen, but let me finish real quick. This is what
Let
pisses
it
me
go.
off. Sometimes people, this is why we need to stop with the if you ain't have a mama and a daddy, why is Mr. Walker a good husband? Why is Gavin a good husband? Why is my husband have no complaints? Why? Why was HQ with her? So you're trying to
There's exceptions.
it's
There's
exceptions, it is, and I definitely feel you with that. I just also think that this whole just basing a person based off them having a perfect mom and dad can also be detrimental because now you have this woman who is extremely spoiled to no degree. And I'm not saying a man fully providing equals a woman who's extremely spoiled, but the way she's coming across,
yeah. Well,
it's
she
not
said it. She
giving.
said she said it with her mouth, and we can acknowledge there's extremes on both ends. You can have overbearing helicopter parents that can ruin their kids with their resources and freedom. That we know that's the thing, and so as parents, it's hard. It's very difficult trying to find that healthy medium. But we can't sit here and say that we don't see the end stone issues that come with men and women that come from broken homes.
Oh
They've
yeah.
got reels all on YouTube and TikTok talking about people that come from broken homes, then they enter into families where they're very affectionate. That is me entering into my family. I grew
Right.
up with a very brutish family. Went into all that hugging, I love you stuff. I had to learn how to do that, you
Exactly.
know. And but there's exceptions, and some of us to some degree are exceptions, but we can't expect. It's better to expect young men and women coming from wholesome whole homes to
Yeah.
have better outcomes than saying like, you know what, you can come from a broken home and still have the same outcomes as a intact household, because that's not true.
No, I definitely agree. And I agree with everything you said. All I'm saying is that this is the other side of when women want to keep pushing that narrative that can sometimes be toxic. That's all I'm saying. I agree.
Mm-hmm. You mute HQ.
Oh no, I agree with what you all are saying. I agree with what you all are saying. I mean, a young lady emasculates the man right off the bat when she gets talking about my dad will do something that you want.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
weird.
that's not a good way to approach a relationship or talk to the future husband or future boyfriend that you want. First off, he should tune off. You should be off his radar right then as soon as you said that, right? Because we know we're going to get toxic headache from you because you feel entitled for what you're talking about, right? I get it when women say they want to be in relationships where the man, pays for the bill. We live together, so he pays the bills. I get all that. I applaud that if that's what you want to do. But don't come to me and say, "Oh, okay, if you don't do it, then my daddy gonna do it. If you don't do it, then this that. You ain't no man if my daddy is a man, you ain't no man if you don't do it." No man wants to hear that, and that's not a message that
Stuff
we
like
should
that.
be.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with providing, being a provider and a protector for your daughter when she doesn't have the covering of a man. I'm not saying that, What I'm saying is her attitude about it. She should never say these things. What you want to do, my dad will. And
Yeah.
golly, like, yeah, I wonder if her father knows she has that attitude. See what I'm saying?
That
I
part.
don't think he does.
And I'll say this: a lot of these women come up here capping. It's a sliding scale, fellas. So when they talk about this provider stuff, it's for the men they don't like. Some
That's
men don't
not
have
true.
to have nothing. And I'm gonna pull this video up to prove you differently, Crystal. Some men don't have to have anything.
Right, for a woman who feels like she's worth nothing. That's for a
No,
woman who
any
feels like
woman. She could be a doctor, lawyer, anything. Listen, shout out to my guy, Theo Coop. Shout out to Theo Coop. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Do Better podcast. I see Theo dropped this video today, and I was going to bring this guy up. So we're going to bring Theo's version of it. I see a lot of people have been talking about this. This guy, 1,000 black women offered this homeless man a place to live. Listen to this.
You hear the story about the homeless man in Atlanta who made a public plea for a place to stay, and more than 1,000 women responded? This man, who goes by the name of Big Boss Escobar, posted in a Facebook group called Atlanta Rooms for Rent. He said, I recently lost my home, just need a place that is reasonable price so I can get back on my feet. I'm tired of sleeping in Atlanta shelters. Very quiet person and stay to myself, work a job, and also have a clothing line. I moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri 4 years ago. If anybody have any resources you can send my way, I will accept. Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, the women came through. You can come stay with me, boo, a woman named Britt wrote. Off bed, cold AC, plenty of food, and the Wi-Fi jumping. A woman named Tish Lee wrote, you can stay with me. A woman named Courtney said, woo, if you're in my area, you could come stay with me for free. I'll take care of you.
No, but this is
hold on, Crystal. Not
You
so fast, Miss Luna.
no,
Listen,
you didn't.
Listen, these men don't have to have anything. You can be homeless, fellas. They will take care of you.
No, I've always said this. Attraction is always going to skyrocket you to where we know pretty privilege, handsome privilege. It just is what it is. I was going to say, or a woman who is in a one, desperate, two, doesn't have any worth, or
Why these women got to be desperate with no worth? Why
No,
can't they
I'm
be
giving
good
you-
women?
I'm
They got
giving you
them
number
women.
three.
I got AC. I got Wi-Fi. These is good women.
I'm giving you lady number 3 that'll take them, but you won't hear me out. The woman who is just willing to be sexually pleased. And so she's a woman who's highly sexually active.
Why couldn't she want to clean him up and level him up into his best self?
That's a delusional woman who would do that.
No,
Now,
it's not. Y'all all talk about it. What are we talking about?
No, okay, first off, let's give him some credit. I credit his vulnerability, and I like that he was just flat out honest. This is showing men that they can be vulnerable and they can be completely honest. And I'm not saying vulnerable like, completely playing the victim, but to me, he was just saying like, hey, I'm having a rough time. I just happen to be attractive.
Unacceptable behavior on the man's part. Unacceptable.
He's using his looks to his advantage.
Right. Well, I would have reached out. I would have messaged him back and told him I got a room for you. I rent out rooms all over Atlanta. $800, boom, and you got a room. We good. That's exactly what I would have said.
There you go. They just perverts. Why can't we just say that? It's perverted. If they care, they see this guy and they just see his looks, and instantly they like, you can come move into my home.
Y'all gonna let this dude use that word in a situation like this? You gonna let him use the word pervert?
We ain't even going down that lane. We stand out the chat. So I don't know.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that a woman finding a man sexually attractive does not make her perverted. Let's be clear. Just like we wouldn't want to throw that on anybody who didn't deserve that. So no, women have sexual urges just like other people. And this is where, to me, it proves my point that some women are just more aesthetically pleasing, driven. Some women just want to know what you look like, and they're okay with that. They don't want the money or the resources. But in most cases, a woman who has value and a woman who really cares about herself, first off, I need to do a background check.
No, I think these are good women. I think
these are good women.
These are just women who are thirsty. They just thirsty women. They ain't perverts. They just thirsty women.
These the good ones that want to level a man up. These is good women with children. All right, they just want to take care of this man.
Good Bonquisha?
Yeah, Bonquisha's a good woman. God,
you never showed me a good woman.
She's gonna take him to church, let him meet the pastor, all that,
and set herself straight to hell. Go straight to hell.
No, she gonna level him up. They gonna own a truck driving company and all that.
This is BS.